Today I'm going to show you a budget action camera. This is 2021 and I chose A87 from Apeman. Now I bought it from Amazon for around £75 I think a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't really played around with it yet. So here we go. Budget camera with a lot of accessories. I think come with 2 batteries, a waterproof case. You can do 4K Ultra HD, so high definition. With the case, you can go into water and do some underwater stuff. It has Wi-Fi connection to their own special app, so you can actually see the video on your phone screen. 170 degrees wide angle. It can narrow it down by, I think, digital zoom back in. You will lose a bit of quality, but that's the trade-off. But if you are doing action stuff, you will want a wide angle lens like 170 degrees to capture all your movements. 4K 60 frames per second is the highest it can go. I'm going to test it out and see what it can do. I usually switch at 4K 30, so I rather it be a native good quality 4K 30 rather than like high FPS but actually low quality. You can also use it as a dash cam because it got the loop recording function, so it can actually carry on recording and erase the old footage. Every time you switch on, it go into automatic recording mode. Now I bought this because I got a stopgap between now and the GoPro 9 Black, which is I really wanted. So I sold my GoPro 7, waiting for the 9 to drop in price. But I can't wait anymore because I do need a action camera as my second camera. So let's open it and have a look and see what your money can buy. £75 in the UK, I guess about the same in dollars in America. And let's open it up, and you're greeted by a warranty card or hello card and a carrying case. A lot of time the case is just something that you take out of the box and just put aside and never use it. But in this case, I do strongly recommend getting a case for your stuff, because I actually have tons of accessories with my previous camera. So I have like my SJ2000, which is from a long time ago, 1080p, and then I got the Van Top, which is 4K. So I got many of these going around over the years. A lot of the time the accessory is interchangeable, but there is just so much stuff like mounts and stuff like that. At the end, you just use like tubs and stuff like that to carry it around. So it would be nice to have a carrying case for all the accessories and keep them all in one place. This is what you greeted when you open the bag. And oh my god, where's the camera? And the battery. Oh, of course, I forgot, because I'm actually already using the camera. Oh, it's a lie that I haven't opened it. So just now I actually did open the camera and have a play around with it. At least I got the battery charged so I can start doing this video. So let's turn this around and show you guys the actual camera. There we go. So the camera doesn't come with this tripod or the mount, so this is my own stuff from my previous videos. And yeah, there we go. So a closer look at the camera. So the basic action camera format is small camera. Doesn't have the front window like the latest GoPro 9, but at the end of the day, the GoPro 9 is still £320 with a 1-year subscription that you have to pay for, and this is only 70 odd quid. So you know, this is really low budget stuff. So why do you need the action camera for 70 quid? Because most of your phone nowadays cost like, you know, £1,000, you know, and they have really good camera, and the audio is actually much better from a phone than the action camera. The action camera built-in microphone, no matter which one you choose, usually suck. So why do you need one of these? Is because you don't want to break your phone. The stuff that you do with action camera, you don't necessarily do with the phone. For example, would you like to drop your phone on concrete floor? Or would you like to drop this one on the concrete floor? Now, you don't want to drop anything on the concrete floor, but trust me, it will happen. And when you crack your screen on your phone, you will cry. Here is some low light sample for my studio, and this is a 4K 30 FPS frame per second. And this is very dark right here, back of my studio. It's my exercise equipment. and my bench. Now this is quite bright, so with any of these action camera, sport camera, definitely you need as much light as possible to hit the sensor. So this is with EAS turn off and no lens correction. And now we have the lens correction on, so it's no longer 170 field of vision. So this is kind of straighten up the side, so you can see my bench no longer kind of a warp. It does still like warp on the edges, but that is just the wide angle, but it's no longer like fish eye. But it's not linear either, but it does help to stop that kind of a distortion. Okay, now we are back to the wide angle view, but with the stabilization turned on. Just slowly turning the camera, moving around. I'm handheld on a little selfie stick, and again this is the inside of my studio, and I'm just walking around. I mean, this camera is supposed to have a gyro built in, so it's not only that it kind of digital crop it, but it should sense how you move and help you to stabilize the camera. So now I'm in my garden, and the mode is the same as the last one. Now very bright to low light. The screen is pretty small, so I have no idea if it is good or bad, but the screen is quite bright on the back and it looks pretty sharp, although I have a feeling that the audio will be awful, but like I started at the beginning of this video, it will be. It will suck. Okay, so this part is where the stabilization is on, and you can see me in the picture there. I mean, nothing extreme, but is it enough to make you dizzy? Okay, just as a comparison, let's do the same thing but turn off the... Okay, now is with the stabilization turned off. I'm not sure if there's any difference, but I think there might be, because although the screen is tiny, but I can see that it no longer helped me to stabilize. So what you see here is real. I have a feeling that it's not going to be pleasant. This is my apple tree. Very nice day today, apart from a bit wet, but this is typical of UK. Okay, let's turn on the stabilization again. So now stabilization back on. Just repairing my lawn, so I'll show some new seeds, and I don't want the birds to get to it. And this is my first set of solar panel, and I got a lot more on my shed at the back. Very bright. Back to dock. This is 4K at 30 frames per second, so let's try some other resolution. Okay, we are now recording at 4K 60 frames per second instead of 30. I'm not sure how it will affect the end video, because I do record in 30 and I render in 30 as well, but this one should give you extra frame. Let's move to a different location. I'll try to stabilize it with my arm, but without a gimbal, this is really hard. I'm trying to not shake my hand at all. And this is recording at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Just now was daylight, but now it's dark. A couple of solar torchlight there. A couple of solar spotlight there. And back to the studio. I fancy a drink, so let's get a drink. So now we're back in the studio. One thing about the camera is that it has Wi-Fi function, so you can actually use your phone to go into the camera and change setting as such. But there's nothing on the menu which say how to do it or even what to download. So I contacted the support from by email, and I asked them, so how or what's going on, because there's no QR code on there, nothing. They point me towards the App Store because I use an Apple phone. So from App Store, just download the app, which is actually the company name, Apeman. And once you download that, just follow the instruction. Turn on the Wi-Fi from your camera, and then use your app to connect to the phone. So from this screen right here, if you enter camera, then you're wirelessly connected to the sport camera, which is really handy because this one doesn't have a front-facing screen. So if you are doing vlog and stuff like that, you have no idea what you're recording. Obviously, wide angle, most likely you will get caught somewhere in the screen. But now you have a phone, which you can see yourself. So if you are off camera angle, you can just adjust it and make sure that you're at the right place, and then you can actually start recording by pressing the button on the phone, and it will start recording on the camera, which is really handy. And if you don't want to use the phone to control the shutter or the start recording, it also comes with a handy remote. Although it's only £75, but it comes with all the accessories that you can think of. The waterproof casing, this is very important if you go on holiday as such. And then you got tons of these attachments that allow you to use it on your bike mount or clip onto your bag. This is something that you can see I always use with my previous camera. We've got a bike mount which goes into the T or handlebar, extra battery, cables, straps, basically anything that you would have to buy extra if you have a GoPro. Downsides for having this action camera will be like any other action camera that I had before. It doesn't have a built-in waterproof, so obviously this one you can't soak in water on its own, and you have to use a waterproof case. Once you put it into a waterproof case, the microphone is useless. It will be all muffled. I mean, it's useless anyway as per action camera, but in the case you can just forget about the sound altogether. And the other thing is, obviously in the case, you have no access to a USB port. So this one you have. And, sometimes what I do is, instead of using extra battery, because like you just don't want to take it out, so you can actually plug in a USB power for that. If you plug in the computer USB port, what it will do is automatically it will start to ask you if you want to use it as a data link, data drive, or do you want to use it as a webcam. So you can't really use a USB power from your computer outlet to charge it or to power it, but you can use a power bank if you want to, and I find it better than that. The other downside will be that this one doesn't have a time-lapse mode. So like a lot of other action camera, if you like time-lapse or if you are doing content creation and you want that kind of speed up movement, there is no options on this one. So you just have to let it record for half an hour and speed it up in processing. And while I was looking into this camera and the battery, it does come with, it does have a product come out which is like a selfie stick, but has a battery built in. So I'm quite keen to test that out. So maybe I will have a video coming soon for that particular attachment. So there you have it, Apeman A87 action camera, cheap, £75 in the UK. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles like you have in GoPro, but you know, but for the price, I think this is quite good. The control is very, very basic. I mean, out of the box, it works. Auto mode, it kind of like, you know, you can see from my previous clip that, you know, from very bright to very dark, it has no problem like controlling the light scenes. We also have like a menu compensation in terms of like, you know, if you want it brighter or darker, you can actually turn it like up and down by I think 3 stops. But yeah, I mean, if I want to mount a camera outside my car and doing some kind of a outdoor activity, chasing or put it on my helmets and stuff like that, there's no way I'm going to mount my iPhone on my helmet just in case it's going to fly off. But with a disposable camera like this, yeah, I don't really mind. So thank you very much for watching my video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel if you find my information useful. I can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadgets. Bye-bye.